Alright, welcome back, y'all. Let's keep getting after it. Told you I had a Detroit locker in there. Oh, I mean, that feels alright. Everything seems to look fine for the most part. I knocked the flange off the pinion, and I don't know, I wonder if it just got a little loose, or if the bearing just, I don't know, loosened up when the drive shaft was going around. But I don't know, before I popped this off, I took it off, but then the seal looked fine, so I put it back on and I just gave it a tap and I got it nice and snug. It feels good. I do everything by feel, but it wasn't dripping anymore. I don't know if the fluid got low enough just from when I took it off for a minute, but I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully that's fine. Now I gotta check out this cover, clean it up, and just try to figure out where it's leaking from. Hopefully I can figure out with some water. It doesn't look too bad in there. Not much metal. I mean, fluid looks typical. It's not bad for like 2 years. You're always gonna have metal in your diff, especially when I drive it, but I mean, it looks fine to me. So, and there's no clutches or anything to wear. It's just is what it is. So I'm gonna play with this little, see how it goes. Well, that was easy. I was about to search for the crack, and then I just happened to see it. Let's see if you can see it. See that guy right there? Yeah, that sucks. Let me see if I can show you something anyways. I'm gonna show you something cool. If you're ever playing a game called casting or crack, and especially in aluminum, and you want to know, or you can't really tell if it's a casting mark or if it's a crack or whatnot, take your torch, put some heat to it. If you see the crack spread, or your line that you're looking for, if you see it spread, you know it's a crack. If it doesn't do anything, it's a casting. You can see the oil boiling out of it. We already know this is a crack for sure, but that is a good way to tell. Maybe I shouldn't get my phone too close to that. We got zoom for all that. There we go. That's a good way to tell if you got a crack or if it's a casting mark, which in this case is pretty easy to find. I'm not saying I'm the best at finding cracks, but I did that a lot when I did transmissions. And bell housings and stuff like that. So you can see, I don't know if you can really tell if I can stop shaking. You can see it opened up a little bit. Just put some heat on it and it'll expand. So, well, there we go. We got a crack in this cover, so now I need to source another cover. And side note, you can see that that's not the only cover that I've ever cracked or put a massive hole in. Well, I got bored. So, this shit sucks. It's so bad. It's penetrating very well. You know, it'll work. I can't really, they're not gonna look great. I might grind them, I don't know. Some of that shit will knock off when I wire wheel it. It's just, I hate all the BBs getting everywhere. Forgot how bad this sucks. And you guys see how splotchy my arm is. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna weld it up. I'm gonna grab the insides here, and then I'm gonna weld this plate here on the back. It's not much to it other than that, so I'm gonna keep getting after it. I gotta let it cool and take the cover off and try to get back there. But yeah, I just gotta remember how to run this thing again. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. There's a spot on the other side. It's just all about the pattern, man. And if you don't run the perfect pattern for this, it doesn't work out too well. That one turned out alright though. I mean, it's penetrating very well. It's gonna hold. A lot of it looks like shit though, like that in there, and I gotta try and, well, I gotta weld that up. But this plate flexed out just from those 2 welds on the outside yesterday. Like, it bowed, which it's gonna be fine, but I'm gonna let this thing cool down really well before I pop it off that cover. Holy fucking splatter, man. Well, I got that one little spot there. It looks shitty. I did that with the diff cover on there. It is what it is. I'm gonna clean this up with the Dremel, trying to get all these fucking BBs out of here. Oh, it's horrible. If you look at it this way, it don't look too bad though. It'll work though. It's gonna work. I'm gonna clean it up and paint it. That motherfucker's not breaking. I don't care about jinxing or anything. That one's, I'll break something else before I break that, which I'm kind of worried about that. So I'll get to that part here at some point in the video. I want to get a piece of 1/8 inch and cut the same holes as these and weld it up on the bottom part of the subframe where it's got like nut insert, or well, I don't know, it's nuts welded to the back of a sheet of metal that I welded on top of it, and that's what came in the kit. So I'm gonna figure that part out too, because that's not bending or cracking. You know what they say, grinder and paint will make you the welder you ain't. It still looks kind of shitty. That is what it is. It's gonna be strong and it's gonna hold. I see what I did here. I should have pulled this one back. I did this one first and I didn't match this one to this one, but I should have done this one like that I did this one, but it doesn't really matter. It's gonna work the same. It's got plenty of structure here, a lot more structure than that previous mount had, wherever the fuck that thing, which was 3/16. This is quarter and this is plated right. You can see that's tacked back together. I don't know, just leave it the way it is. It doesn't really matter, but I keep my trophies. I kind of like to see how it was broken. But so that's out of the way. At least everything's straightened out, and I got the rear mount made. Now I just okay, so I found a listing on eBay that had a diff cover for $38 plus $10 shipping. It was $52 after tax and everything. The only thing about it is that the picture, and it says in the description it's a stock photo, but it's got the exact same pictures from a different seller in the exact same description. It says no returns, but it says it's guaranteed by eBay that if it's not what it's supposed to be, that I should be able to contact eBay and get my money back. So we'll see. Hopefully it works out and I get a diff cover pretty cheap. And it said there was like 4 of them available, so if it does come that cheap, I'll probably order another one just to have another one on hand. I looked at that Ford Racing diff cover. It's not worth $300 and something. These work fine until I break them in other ways. So hopefully it's one that looks just like this one. The one that's coming doesn't. It doesn't have that piece right there. It just, this part protrudes out. It's flat there and it has a couple ribs or whatever you want to call them on the diff cover. So hopefully I get the same type, because I've been using these and they seem to work fine. I don't know if they're better than the other ones or not, but so far so good, unless I grenade something. But all right. I don't know what I'm going to accomplish tomorrow, but I'll update you once I figure that out. Got a new diff cover. Rolled the dice on a kind of sketchy listing that ended up being legit. Actually shipped from Grannis Racing down in Florida for $52 shipped. So that was cool. That's on. Next up. Well, I'm changing the seal anyways on the differential. This is the bearing that came out. I can't really manipulate it that well with one hand, but you can kind of see how much play it has in the cage. It's still together. So I checked the differential parts in my kitchen. I got a bunch back there. And I got this bearing out of here, which, I mean, it's not that much better, but it's not horrible. Swap that out. Throw that in there with that shim and zipper down. It looks like it was leaking in the middle though. I'll show you when I get. Well, I think the nut was a bit loose. And I tightened it up and it quit leaking, but you know, maybe you can see better than I can. Everything appears to be fine in there. I don't think anything's cracked or nothing like that. So, I'm gonna stick a bearing in there, wipe this thing off on my shirt. Back in there it goes. Nice and tight. Put a seal on and put some silicone on that nut when I put it on. I got another nut. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference, but you see that they kind of put some shit on there. I don't know where oh, here's the other one. Doesn't look too much different, but we'll change it up. Put some red Loctite on it, slap her on the ass, and then go. Next step. All right, Loctite, silicone, preload pretty fucking tight. Fine by me. I'll take it. All right, now next step. like butter. Alright, so you see I got these guys right here that I made it work. So here's the plan. Obviously, they're in place right now. Well, that's not tight, but whatever, that's irrelevant. This one is. I cut this L bracket down right here so I could bolt it in, and that's still nice and it's tight. It's supported, it'll be fine. So I've got this piece that I had off the ends, and I slotted that as well. Plan is to measure that, and I guess I'm going to come in here and cut it out like that, and so I can get it the right part and weld it in there. So I just need to do some figuring. I don't know if it's something I can figure out with cardboard or if I'm just going to start cutting and going at it, but that's the next step. Well, I mean, most of the time when I just eyeball shit and start getting after it, it works out, but that's a little bit off. It'll be okay. I mean, I could always do it like that. It's slotted. But I might grab a little piece of metal and put in there and just put a big old weld back and forth. It'll be fine. The second one I'm going to cut, I'll just measure that out a little bit farther over. But yeah, that's basically the idea here. As you can see what I'm going for. I am going to do that on both sides and run the bolt in and catch that bottom bolt onto this and make a lower brace. And that way, those insert nuts up there or whatever pull out of this will catch it, which will probably never happen, and more than likely I'm just going to start breaking diff covers now, which the diff will probably just fall outside of the, unless I make a bar from here to here to like catch it. I might do that. I don't know. That's another idea I could do. And also, this is a good jacking point now. I could put one there and make that a jacking point. I don't know. We'll see. That's really not a bad idea if I run something from here to here and then put a little, like the opposite of one of these, just like a cup in there, but like a bigger one or something that I can catch a jack on. I don't know. We'll see. I got ideas, but I'm not done yet. We still got things to do. And then in the front here, I'm on the fence. I'm just going to freestyle this. I got some 2-inch angle. I want to drill a hole in it and like make a washer out of it, and then suck up the bushings to it's where it needs to be, and then measure it and then weld them in place, so then I can bolt it on and then bolt this down after that's, you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's the next project after this one is finished. So let's get after it some more. Alrighty, I typically tend to do things better the second time around. But yeah, alright, you see what I got going on there? So that, and there's not much light out here. It's getting close to 9 o'clock. And surprised it's still light as it is, but normally don't get dark till about 9 now. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. So that should hold it. I'm a little worried it might hold it too tight, but I think it'll be all right. You know, these are slotted, but once it's tightened down, it's tightened down. It is what it is. But yeah, I've got that pretty tight in place. Tomorrow I'll come down here and tack it in, and then, you know, weld it out. I'll trim that off right there. Make it nice and flush. Throw some paint on it, make it look nice. And, well, after I figure this front deal out, which that's a tomorrow deal. So, next step. Just remember, if I can flux core my little car together on some little ramps, and I only started one fire so far, that's cool, then you can build whatever you're working on. Alright, I got those. Oh, I welded out the best I could. That honestly worked a whole lot better than I was expecting. I mean, it's not going to look great, but doing it under the car with the helmet on, with like, I mean, I don't know, my arm's not very long, and it's less than a half an arm's length for me. But yeah, that's not bad. There was a big gap too. I didn't grind the metal down. It just worked somehow. The car's ready to go. It's ready to be back on the road. So yeah, I'm gonna take this out and finish welding it up, and the rear part will be done. And then I'm gonna start working on the front here, which I got some ideas. I'm just gonna put some things in there and see what lines up and go from there. It's gonna be a freestyle. Alright, while I'm waiting for that to cool down back there, I'm gonna work on the seal here. So I've had a hell of a time getting this stupid seal. Okay, so I ordered one on eBay that wasn't a week and a half out, and because everything else was, and the one on Amazon was, and they sent me the wrong seal. It's like a hard body seal, completely different part number, completely different picture. Everything is different from what was pictured in the description and all that. So I went to Nissan dealership and prepaid for one and ordered it, and it was supposed to be here today, but it was delayed because of Juneteenth, and they're expecting it Tuesday now. So I found one at Napa, the only place I can find one locally, and it's this part number, which you can use if this works. It looks like it might work, but the OD of the seal is a little bit larger than the factory seal, which the factory seal is metal with rubber on the outside, so hopefully, I don't know, we're gonna see if it fits. I gotta clean that up a little bit. I just wanna put it up here, and that looks like it's too fucking big. I don't think that's gonna work. I might try and hammer it in here, but I don't think that's gonna fucking work. All right, hold on. Yeah, that shit didn't work. So wait till Tuesday, I guess. That's what I have to do. It sucks. Not terrible, not great, but not terrible. It'll hold. Alright, that bad boy's up. And I kind of got an idea here. I just bent those pieces back, bolted this thing up, and I'm gonna come weld the back of these on. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass going in and out, but what I'm planning on doing is just getting some cardboard. I'm just gonna make end pieces right here to come from here to here, and then close this, I don't know if you can see, close this gap right here, boom, on each side, and box them in, and that should be good to go on that. Just simple enough. This is just for extra support. Nothing crazy, so I'm gonna try and knock this out real fast. Well, I finally got the heat right on this, and this is the difference of welding it out here than trying to weld that shit up in the car in a space just big enough for your helmet to fit sideways. It's kind of a pain in the ass, so I'm gonna take the angle grinder to this and try to go over it and fix it a little bit better. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's not completely straight, but it fits. That's all I'm worried about. I couldn't get this shit straight and tight at the same time, but fuck it, it'll be all right. It doesn't matter, because it's bothering me. It is what it is, though. Nobody will ever notice. But yeah, that's gonna work, so that's cool. So I'm gonna fuck with this a little bit, throw some paint on it, and slap it in. Well, yeah, you can see those. Devil's beating his wife right now, I guess. Well, at least I got my little tin up, so we're good to go. Should pass real quick. Yeah, like I said, about to throw some paint on it. I was just gonna record after I painted, but you know, it is what it is. I went back over it. Nobody is gonna see it except for y'all and I. But yeah, there we go. I made a friend last night. Look at this little kitty. I think I got an outside cat now. I hope so. I hope he keeps coming back. I named him Jack. Hello, Jack. Look at him. Look how pretty this cat is. Like, I swear he looks like he's mixed with something. I don't know. I don't think so, but look, he's got a raccoon tail on him. He's got spots and stripes. Let me see your eyes. Let me see your eyes. Look at those eyes. He looks like a little puma, but he's such a sweet little kitty cat. He's wild. I don't know. I'd call him feral, but he doesn't really act feral. He's just a neighborhood cat, I guess. You want to come inside and live with me, kitty? Alright. Jack's over there. I started hammering on these bolts with the impact. He didn't run off, but he just walked over there. So, let's get a little light in this bad boy. Came out alright. Not too shabby. I didn't feel like waiting a million years for that paint to dry, so it's a little messed up, but hey, that really don't look too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. And like, you know, it's still got it's got poly bushing still, but that's gonna take a lot of the give out. hopefully it reduces a lot of the wheel hop too, which we still got poly bushings in the lower control arm. At some point I'll upgrade that, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm just kind of worried about the diff cover breaking now, since this is kind of holding it in place. But hey, at least the diff isn't going to fall out, well, unless the cover breaks. But hopefully this holds it in some more, since that plate wasn't doing its job that well. But yeah, so on to the next project, which I don't have my seal, so I can't put the drive shaft in for good, but I can put the drive shaft in and test fit it and get the drive shaft loop in. That's the next thing that I gotta do. Show. He said, "You're done making noise. Love on me now." Meow. He's so cute. Such a sweet little kitty cat. I want to bring you inside my house so bad and make you mine. Such a sweet kitty. And I mean, he really wasn't scared by the loud noises too much. He just he wandered off for a minute. But he was doing that. He was hanging out under the Mercury before that. It started raining a little bit too. He's such a sweet kitty cat. I hope you stick around there, buddy. I am pretty happy with how that subframe bracing turned out. Pretty confident in that thing holding together now. So we got to figure out what the next weak link is. But I'm going to start working on the drive shaft loop and all that next. But I will save that for the next video because I got a lot of recording to do still. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all.